Good morning, students. Welcome back to the another lecture in Biodimension online classes. And today's class, we are going to discuss mainly about bacterial cell structure. Bacterial cell structure includes many things, but today's class, we are just starting. That is why our today's topic of discussion is what is a typical bacterial cell? How we are going to identify a bacterial cell? What is their basic structure and morphology? So let's start our today's class. Those who are new to this video, if you have not subscribed the channel yet, I request you to subscribe it because in this channel, I'm going to discuss with you several topics related to biotechnology, microbiology, biochemistry, and so on and so forth. And also hit the bell icon so that whenever I'm going to post a video, you will get the instant notification for it. So let's start our today's class. You are going to learn after reading this session or after attending this session, you can able to clearly distinguish the difference between the bacterial cell and the eukaryotic cell. So in a more precise way, you can clearly distinguish between the prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cell. So eukaryotic cell have several kinds of structures and specifications which are quite different, but in terms of size and in terms of basic structural arrangement, what are the difference between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic one that you can able to understand after the completion of this lecture. And second one is that there are several factors are there which can actually determine bacterial shape and their size. Let's start our today's discussion. First, the thing is that we are going to discuss about shape, arrangement, and bacterial size. What is a bacteria? It's a microscopic organism, as you have already know. If you want a very brief or preliminary discussion about the microbial life or microbial world, I will definitely make a video on that. But please let me know whether you want all this kind of video in the comment section. In this slide, you are about to see these three pictures, and the first two pictures are electron microscopic pictures, and the third one is also the electron microscopic pictures. So that is the scanning electron microscopic pictures. So in this first one slide, this slide is the Staphylococcus bacteria, which is present in a chain formation structure. So this is a coccus bacteria. Mainly, bacteria are very small. They have a single-celled organism. They have a unique or uniform shape and size. Their shape and size doesn't vary within the species. So as this is a Staphylococcus species, this is also a Staphylococcus, but these two Staphylococcus have differences. This particular species have a chain forming structure, and this particular species have a grape-like cluster structure. Both are coccus, both are Staphylococcus, but this is Staphylococcus aureus and this is Staphylococcus agilacti. So these two have the basic structural pattern. And now when we are discussing with this particular shape, as you already are able to see that this is a rod-shaped bacteria, but this rod-shaped bacteria is present in a chain structure. Okay, let us discuss what is coccus. So coccus are roughly the spherical cells. They are spherical cells. So cocci is a singular term and coccus is a plural form. Okay, so whenever we are telling coccus, then we are actually meaning a group of bacteria, cluster of bacteria. So they can exist singly or they can be associated in the characteristic arrangement. So if you look at this structure, they particularly have a characteristics arrangement, but they can also be present in a single form. So the coccus may be a gram positive or maybe a gram negative kind of a structure. What is the difference between gram positive and gram negative? I will definitely tell you in my subsequent lectures, but in a very brief, bacteria have a cell wall structure, and within that cell wall, they have a peptidoglycan layer. The bacteria who have a thin peptidoglycan layer, they are being considered as gram negative, and the bacteria who have a thick peptidoglycan layer, they are being considered as a gram positive. So in case of cocci, both gram positive and gram negative can be present. They can be pathogenic or they can be symbiotic or commensals. So in a normal case, coccus bacteria is an inhibitor of our skin also. These are different kinds of a coccus structure. So this is a singular coccus structure. That is the simple form of cocci. And this is Diplococci. Diplo means two, so two coccus are present together, so that is Diplococci. So that means after divisions they are not being separated. So this is Staphylococci, which we have already seen in our previous slide. So this is Staphylococcus. That means they are present in a cluster formation. Okay. So this is a Streptococci. Streptococci means they are present in a chain formation. So they are long chains. So here it is written that cocci result when cells adhere after repeated division in one plane. That pattern is seen in the genera Streptococcus, Enterococcus, and Lactococcus. So they are present in a single plane. So this is a Streptococcus structure. Staphylococcus is a cluster. They actually divide in random planes, but they are associated with each other. So they are known as Staphylococcus. Okay. Some other structures are also being observed in this particular bacteria. So initially, what we have discussed, this particular two structure, that is Staphylococcus, is the asymmetric structure, but some structures are symmetrical. So they are divided in a particular plane. So like tetrad structure. So in the genus of Micrococcus, they divide in two different plane, and after division, they form a cluster of four bacteria, which is known as tetrad. And now, in case of Sarcina, the bacterium are divided in three different planes, and at the end of it, they are producing structure which looks like a cube structure consisting of 8 different cells. They are known as Sarcina. Okay, so now if we are talking about Bacillus, Bacillus is a rod-shaped bacteria, as similar with the cocci. Bacilli means it's a single bacterium. Bacillus is a plural form. So Bacillus megatherium is a very good example of a rod-shaped bacterial structure. This is a rod-shaped bacterial structure having a chain formation. So chain formation rod-shaped bacterial structures are very common. Lactobacillus, which is present in lactic acid forming bacteria, in curd or yogurt, so those bacteria is also a chain forming bacteria, but those are long rods. But if we are talking about very small rods, so Coccobacilli is a kind of a very small rod shaped bacteria. They have a very, so in this picture it is not possible to say that whether this is a rod shaped bacteria or coccus shaped bacteria, because this is so small, and to determine this particular bacteria we have to go for further image characterization using more high magnification like same microscope. So on that we can easily able to see that these bacteria, though they are looking like coccus in lower magnification, but in higher magnification they actually look like a rod-shaped bacteria. So they are known as Coccobacilli. So there are different kinds of rod-shaped bacteria. Are there like flat rod, rounded rod, cigar-shaped rod, bifurcated rod. So different kinds of rod-shaped bacterial structures are there. Fine. So they can be present singly. That means one single bacterium is present, or they can be present in pair like this. Like this picture, look at these two bacteria. They are present in pair. Look at this bacterial pair. So they are present in pair. They are actually present in pair. So, but another, these bacteria are present in a singular form. And this particular picture is an example of bacteria which present in a chain formation. So these are different examples of Bacillus bacteria. Some other shapes are also predominating. We generally have known the comma-shaped bacteria, which is Vibrio cholerae. Just look at their structure. They look like a comma shape. They have a tail that is known as flagella. We will discuss about all this organelle structure, but apparently they are looking like a comma-shaped structure. Spiral-shaped spirillum. So this are looking at a spiral-shaped bacteria. This is a spirochete, long spiral-shaped bacteria. This is looking at spirochete. Okay, so this is a bud forming bacteria. So this bacteria may look like a fungal structure, but no, this is a bacterial structure. They form bud. They form bud at the end of its tail, and they are looking like a more like a eukaryotic one, but they are bacterial structures. So the example is hypomicrobium. They are bud forming bacteria. Streptomyces, they are filamentous bacteria. So initially scientists thought that the filamentous kind of structures, that means they have multiple cells. That means they are multicellular structure. But after they observed more clearly, they then find out that no, these things are not eukaryotic structures, they are prokaryotic structures. And these things are the single cell, but they are present in a such kind of a cluster which looks like a filamentous one. So they are known as streptomyces. Streptomyces have a huge importance in medical field. When you are going to study the antibiotics, you will definitely know about the streptomyces bacterium. The last one is the bacteria which form fruiting body. This is a very unique shape, Mixococcus stipitatus. They are the fruiting body forming bacteria. This fruiting body is formed using multiple cells, multiple bacterial cells, thousands and thousands of bacterial cells. Using all these bacterial cells, they form fruiting body structure. Okay. Now, some of the bacteria, they don't have any specific shape. Okay. Their shape can be variable. So they are known as pleomorphic bacteria. So what is the meaning of pleomorphic? They don't have any specific shape and size, right? So they don't have any specific shape and size. They can be present in different structure and different form. Now, some bacteria can be thought as a multicellular, like I have already told you in case of the actinomycetes, this kind of bacteria. Streptomyces is a class of actinomycetes bacteria. So they are long filaments. They have long filaments, and which is known as hyphae. They initially looks like very similar to the eukaryotic fungi, but they are not like that. Okay. So several bacteria are there which can able to go for the photosynthetic process. They are known as photosynthetic bacteria. Okay. So apparently you may look like that they are the algal eukaryotic organism, but no, they are the cyanobacteria. So bacterial size varies. What we actually know, as bacteria have a very small organism, so they have a very small structure, and small structure is actually increase their cell surface area, and as their cell surface area increase, they can able to absorb more nutrient. But the thing is that every bacteria have a different evolutionary story, and the second logic is that based on they have to maintain a low or small size, basically to increase their surface area. So, or that means the surface area to volume ratio. So fine, that is known as SB ratio. So let's look at what is SB ratio. If the surface area is low, this particular sphere have a low surface area, that is 12.6 micrometer square, and a volume of 4.2 micrometer square. So they have a low surface area and volume. If you divide the surface area with the volume, the resulting factor is 3. But if you increase the size of the sphere, then what will happen? The surface area will increase along with the volume, and the surface area and volume will low down. The ratio will low down to the half. So the smaller the size, that will increase the surface area and volume ratio. But in different bacteria, in case of different bacteria, these things are not true. Like this particular bacteria, this is a giant bacteria. The name of the bacteria is Puloplicium bacillsoni. Which one is the bacteria? This one is the bacteria. That means this one is a prokaryotic cell structure and this one is a eukaryotic cell structure. They are paramecium. According to the study, paramecium are the predator of this particular bacteria, and to avoid that predatory relationship, this Bacillsoni bacteria have increased their size. They actually are present in the gut of some fishes. So this is a giant bacterium. So whatever our concept is that bacteria means a very small size organism. No. Nowadays, several bacteria have been identified which have a huge structure. So these bacteria is known as a giant bacterium. So if we look at the different structures of the bacteria, different size of the bacteria, E. coli is a quite good range of size. So this is a kind of a cell structure of E. coli in comparison to a streptococcus. So as you know, that E. coli is a lab bacterium. We generally use E. coli as a model organism. So the size of the E. coli is 1.3 micrometer to 4 micrometers. So this is a quite a good size of a bacteria, that is E. coli. If we are looking about the oscillatoria, which is a bacteria, their size are comparable with the red blood cell size, that is quite large. From this chart, you can easily able to determine the actual size of different classes of organism, from virus to bacteria to eukaryotic one. This is the end of today's video, and thank you for watching the full video. And let me again remind you that if you have any question, please write that in the comment box. If you like that video, please share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe this channel, because I am trying to give videos on regular basis. So, and please subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon, so that whenever I'm going to give a video, you will get the instant notification. So thank you.